When we talk about how a woman reacts when she realizes you've lost interest, we're really talking about something much deeper than attraction. Or dating games, we're talking about perception, emotional safety. And the moment someone feels a shift they can't quite explain, but can absolutely feel loss of interest, is rarely announced. It's sensed, and in my years as a therapist, that moment, when awareness quietly settles in, often becomes a psychological turning point. Welcome back to the channel. Today's conversation isn't about blaming women or praising men. It's about understanding human behavior. When emotional dynamics change, I want to walk you through this the way I would in a therapy room, calmly, honestly, and from lived professional experience. I've sat across from many women who didn't come in saying he lost interest. They came in saying things like, "Something feels off," or "I don't recognize how he looks at me anymore." What's controversial here is this. Most people assume women immediately panic or react emotionally when interest fades. In reality, the first reaction is often awareness, not chaos. And that awareness can be far more powerful than people expect. From experience, when a woman realizes your emotional energy has shifted, her mind doesn't jump straight to conclusions. It starts observing. She replays conversations. She notices the silence. She compares how you used to show up versus how you do now. And internally, a quiet recalibration begins. This is where many men misread what's happening. Because the reaction isn't loud, it's strategic, emotional, and deeply personal. What makes this topic uncomfortable and even controversial is that losing interest can actually change the balance of emotional power, not because anyone is manipulating anyone, but because uncertainty activates reflection. I've seen women become more self-aware, more curious, and sometimes more emotionally invested, not because they're chasing, but because humans are wired to seek clarity. Throughout this video, I'll be speaking from a therapeutic lens. No client stories will be identifiable. No dramatization, just patterns I've consistently observed across different relationships, ages, and emotional backgrounds. If you've ever wondered why things seem to shift when you stop leaning in, or why her behavior suddenly changes, this conversation will help you understand what's really happening beneath the surface. 1. She notices the emotional shift before you say anything. One of the most consistent patterns I've seen in my work as a therapist is this. A woman rarely needs an announcement to know something has changed. Long before words are exchanged, the emotional atmosphere tells its own story. When your interest fades, even quietly, it alters the rhythm of the connection. The pauses feel different. The warmth in your responses changes. The way you listen no longer carries the same presence, and she notices, often before she can explain how she knows in sessions. Women don't usually describe this moment with certainty. They describe it with intuition. They say things like, "I can feel him pulling back," or "He's still here, but not fully." What's important to understand is that this awareness doesn't come from insecurity alone. It comes from emotional attunement. When someone has been connected to you, they've learned your patterns. A slight withdrawal stands out not as drama, but as contrast. What makes this stage engaging and often misunderstood is that her first reaction is not confrontation. It's observation. She becomes quieter internally, more attentive. She starts tracking changes without announcing them. This isn't manipulation. It's the mind trying to make sense of a shift in emotional safety. When interest fades, uncertainty appears, and uncertainty makes people reflect. I've worked with women who didn't feel hurt immediately. Instead, they felt unsettled. The certainty they once had about where they stood became less stable. And when certainty disappears, the nervous system looks for answers. She may replay recent interactions, not to accuse, but to understand. Was it something she said, something she missed? Or simply a change she didn't cause? Here's where many men misread the situation. Silence on her end doesn't mean ignorance, calm behavior.